see some crazy upsets. We could see a bit of a royal road. But here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran representing Eximius Gaming. It is Kamikaze. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Eximius Gaming as well. It is Dorminhoco. We go. And if you're in the chats, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will be our finalists this week, who will face off against Shakti, the Protoss player. Will it be our Terran or our Zerg? So far, I appreciate that we have all things balanced as they should be. We have one player of each race still in the tournament. Who's it going to be? As we have a 2x Reaper opener at a Kamikaze. It's going to be 2x Reaper from our Terran player. Meanwhile, our Zerg going for a 15-15. 15 pull into a 15 hatchery. Very safe. Oh, sorry, my apologies. I mean, there was a 15-15, but that is an early gas. Dorminhoco. He's popping off. He's crazy. He's going for cheese. He's going for aggression here. Very early gas geyser from Dorminhoco. With this, we will have faster link speed. This could be for a Roach Rush, could be for a Bane Bust. What do you have for us? What do you got? I would not be opposed to Roaches, especially against 2x Reaper. Oh boy. As gas is amassing. We have enough for 100 gas, and we are not pulling out. That's what's important. Link speed is on the way. We don't pull out of gas, which means we should be seeing either a Roach Warren or a Bailey Nest on the way for Dorminhoco. Lings are moving out. Expansion should soon be taken. Should soon have the money for it. Lings skirting around the edge. There we go. Expansion is now on the way. Kamikaze. He skipped the SCV scout. No shot. Oh my god, I didn't even realize, but I was about to say that Kamikaze should soon be across the map to realize what's going on, but there is no SCV. No SCV scout, just the Reaper initially for Kamikaze, so worst case scenario, it's going to take a little bit longer to realize what's going on. Lings are amassing, link speed halfway done, and the Reaper does dip in. Dorminhoco, of course, fully aware of what's going on, does have an abundance of gas. We're still waiting to see what it's going to be spent on, and he might be waiting for link speed to force back this Reaper, which means I'm feeling Banelings. I'm feeling a Bailey Nest. Otherwise, it's just going to be such a late Roach Warren. The Reaper goes down. Reaper goes down. Bunkers are on the way. Kamikaze realizes something is wrong. Something is amiss. He throws down that bunker. And here come the Lings. And show us what you got. Again, we have 160 gas. What's it going to be? Third hatch? Lings get across the map. They get ISO. Oh my, that's a lot of bunkers. That's 3 bunkers. He is droning. What? Dorminhoco. He's in bench. What's going on? He's droning up. But he still has 200 gas. He's crazy. I mean, this could be for a fast lair into a Nidus Worm, I guess. There are TCs on the way for Kamikaze. He's stuck at home. Are we really just gonna drone from here? No shot. No shot, Pappy. No shot. Reaper gets shut down. Add-ons are on the way. There is the lair, so it is going to be 2-base lair from Dorminhoco. I'm feeling a Nidus Worm. We do have an Overlord in the main, but it's going in for a scout, so we're not going to have it for much longer. Muta? Roach Warren is on the way. Okay. So we are playing Ling Roach. So it's not going to be Mutas. The Overlord does survive, so technically we could get vision into... Or we do have vision in the main. But with this Roach Warren, it might just be macro. He's droning. Yeah. Dorminhoco. He's droning up. The hell's going on? It's just such a weird start to the game. Okay. Okay. So with that, yeah, the Roach Warren has completed. Extra gas is being taken. Third base getting up and running. Dorminhoco is droning. And I guess he's hoping that Kamikaze overreacts. The problem with like trying to force an overreaction, of course, is that Kamikaze He's got a third TC. He's getting into his own 2-1-1. Doubled upgrades on the way. Very greedy to go for double eBay. Double eBay before starport. Very greedy stuff here out of Kamikaze. And he can always just salvage the bunkers. Just salvage. It's fine. It's a waste of some resources, yes, but not all. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not entirely convinced by this build from Dorminhoco. I'll be honest. I'm not convinced, but maybe I just need to, maybe I need to be convinced. Show me the way. Show me the way, Dorminhoco. Show us what you got. As we do have stim in production, roaches are amassing. I don't think we're going for a roach push yet, just because we have double evo chamber. Yeah, upgrades. Going for the upgrades first, then we drone. Safety roaches initially here for Dorminhoco. And Kamikaze's taking his third. Just getting his third base. Low accurate ghost actually doing special ops and sabotage. True. There's a mass salvage. So coming into the mid game here, I do want to favor Kamikaze. Remember, Kamikaze responded with 3 CC. Kamikaze did not overreact to the all-in. Kamikaze also went for fast double eBays, now into fast 2-2, so his upgrades are solid, assuming we embrace 2-2. There we go, momentarily. 2-2's now on the way. So yeah, Kamikaze's in a better position. He has a better economy than the Zerg, which is what's concerning. The Zerg player needs to be up on bases and up on drones, and that is not the case currently here in this matchup, in this back and forth. So Dorminhoco, he still has some recovering to do. He still has some catching up to do, is what I should say. He's gotta catch up. Okay, fast infestation pits. Let's go. I guess this should be for a fast hive. This could be for safety infestors. I'm not opposed to safety infestors in this position. Honestly, I think they're almost necessary. If this bio army moves out, it's going to be a tough defense for the Roach Ravager player. But thankfully, the army's not moving out. It's just drop play. Tanks are being left at home. Reinforcements being left at home. Just 2 medevacs full of marines. He does keep up. I mean, I say he keeps up, but oh god, oh god. Does force a pickup. That was 3 roaches for 7 marines. Not the worst trade. We're still trading gas for minerals. Thankfully, reinforcements weren't too far away. Dorminhoco, he's still droning up, is rushing into the hive, is skipping the infestors. Infestors are being skipped. Still droning. Saturating. And here comes the main army. Here comes the main push for Kamikaze. Oh, that's a push, by the way. That's oh god. That's gonna be 4 tanks. 4 tanks, 37 marines. That's a hefty army here. Double jump into the main base, gonna be distracting. Dorminhoco does respond with his entire army. He's having a hard time. Main army pushing in. Kamikaze making his way towards the base. Roach Ravager in position. Files go up. And they graze the marines, not bad. But the tanks have sieged. Oof. Big tank bullies going off. One Ravager goes down. Does bow down one of those tanks though. And we're fighting out of range of the tanks. Oh, this I'm not so sure of. Files will connect. Again, the tanks were a little bit too far back. Files should bring another one down, but we're running out of Ling Bane. And nice spread, nice kiting. As Kamikaze rallies across the map, one more tank goes down. But we're out of Ling Bane. More Lings are flooding in. Okay. More Lings are flooding on forward. We're getting on top of the tanks. But we have sub reinforcements. Kamikaze still rallying across the map. Breaks on through and the hatchery will fall. Yeah, hatchery goes down. That's all we needed. Kamikaze kills the 4th base. Dorminhoco taking another 4th instead towards the right-hand side. but that could have been a lot worse. I do think that Kamikaze, that move out was a little bit lackluster for a lot, but most of that fight, there were like 2 or 3 tanks that weren't doing anything. They were just a little bit too far back. Because of that, we were lacking that much more DPS. So Dorminhoco is holding. The Zerg player is holding on. But for how much longer? As Kamikaze is not done, it's going to be rotating around, pushing out once again towards the new 4th base. Ravagers did survive, but now we have many more Marauders in the mix. Stepping on forward, Bailey's on the way. Kamikaze getting his own 4th up and running. Dorminhoco trying to keep up. As Kamikaze is going to be taking a more defensive stance this time. He's keeping his main army back at home, just going for a drop play, which I think is fine. I mean, he already killed the 4th. Like, right? He already got the damage he was hoping for. From here, we're building up. A hive is now done. Dorminhoco, his tech of choice. Ultras. Okay. Going to be Roach Rav initially into Lingbane Ultra. We'll see if he can embrace that. His Cannon's plating is almost done. Ultras are on the way. Kamikaze scanning ahead of time. Movement so far clears up some of the creep. Once again distracting Dorminhoco. Kamikaze moving out. Some in the Bailings. The Marines are caught out. Bailings, they crash into the tanks though. And not the best Bailey connections. Oh, they were mainly on tanks. Only 1 tank went down. The army is punished. Kamikaze is going to be able to push on forward. He gets some of the Ravagers. Tries to at least. Ultra is revealed. Ghost production already commencing. The Vials! Ooh, big connections. Vials do connect as Kamikaze is focusing on his drop across the map. Unable to get much done. Dorminhoco, he's holding. Dorminhoco's holding on. Heads against the drops. Saves his 5th base. Kamikaze being forced back. And Kamikaze at this point needs to defend. He needs to just turtle. At this point, he's lost his map control. He's lost his ability to push in. Ultras have come out. And Kamikaze has to be careful. Like, seeing this is concerning to me. Dorminhoco going for a big counterattack. Kamikaze out of position. Dorminhoco, he hits the 3rd. Gets into the mineral line. SCVs are going down. Tanks getting caught out as well. Kamikaze does turn around. Gets an Ultra. It's going to get multiple Ultras even. And 2 Ultras go down. Dorminhoco diving in with the Roaches. Gets a tank. Going for the SCVs. You can see Dorminhoco, he wants to get rid of these Roaches. They don't scale well into a longer game. 25 SCVs go down. Cripples the economy. Again, some depots rallying on the right-hand side and massing up more Lingbane Ultra. He's going for the 5th. Let's force a lift. The tanks were exposed, but Kamikaze able to rotate over. Main collapsing him once again. Dorminhoco at least going to get the tanks. And Bailey's, they want more than that. So they're going for the ghosts. Oh, never mind. They're going for the mineral line. Okay. 4th base under fire, no reaction, and the SCVs are going to be going down. Massive connections. As Dorminhoco, he takes down the entire mineral line. Kamikaze still trying to recover. Lost all of his tanks. Dorminhoco just has to back off, rebuild, remax, double expanding, or taking a 6th base. Kamikaze just cannot keep up, not anymore. At a certain point, Kamikaze needed to recognize that he had lost control of the game, had lost control of the map, and had to back off. But he just kept going. Just kept pushing back. And with that, Dorminhoco now embracing Hive Tech. Vipers are on the way, alongside the Spire. Flyer attack upgrades, Corruptors, Infestors. Anything and everything. It's all coming out. It's all coming out. Another Ling run by. It's the natural. Kamikaze able to wall off. Up! Not a bad mine shot. Mine shot goes off. Lings are shut down. The Ling runway doesn't get much done, but at the same time, oh, we are out of position. Kamikaze, he gets dragged all the way to his natural, and the fourth base is exposed. And this time it's going to be a kill on the base itself, not just the mineral line. Dorminhoco getting the hell out of there. Cheese it. Gets out. Snipes the base. Retreats. Let's pull back home. Kamikaze once again pushing onto Group. No! Takes a massive bailings to the face. Not like this. Oh my god. Once again, just being a little bit too cavalier here. A little bit too brazen. Calm down, Kamikaze. As at this point, he barely has a standing army. Has a handful of ghosts, that is true, but where's the support? The Marines, the Marauders, the Widowmines, the tanks. Kamikaze needs time to rebuild, needs time to build up his economy again. But Dorminhoco is not going to give him that time. It was a wild start to the game. A wild start. Madness on the fringe bases. Another Ling run by on the left hand side. Collapsing on the main army. Oh! Mine shot's not quite going off. Likewise, SCVs are going down. Dragging back the army. And the fifth base is exposed once again. Kamikaze dragged out of position, but this is because he just doesn't have supply. Doesn't have the numbers to defend multiple locations at once. Kamikaze cannot keep up. His army's just not big enough. As he is spread thin. And now Dorminhoco is going for the kill, going for the throat. Good mine connections though. Connections on the Banelings. Snipes going up on the Ultras. Kamikaze will hold. It does have a comparable army. So it can take these head-on fights. Catches Ravager. But over time, Kamikaze is going to run out of steam. He's all in. Kamikaze's all in, and Dorminhoco has remaxed. Rebuilt, remaxed. Oh my god, the blinding clouds are brutal. Starter stepping through the blinding clouds. Lings they clean up. GG, and Dorminhoco takes game number 1. Whew. What a comeback. GG, well played. Kamikaze did have a stronger start to the game, was able to get quite nicely into the mid game. Because of that, was able to snowball and break the fourth base, if you remember. But if you also recall, the fight at the fourth base wasn't as efficient as it could have been for Kamikaze. If you recall, his tanks were a little bit too far back. He was, as a result, trading more evenly against the forces of Dorminhoco when he otherwise could have taken greater trades. And over time, Dorminhoco was able to stabilize, was able to catch out the army on the right-hand side, was able to shut him down, and eventually take control away from Kamikaze and take it himself. GG, well played. And with that, we're getting ready for game number 2. Getting ready for game number 2. We're going to be jumping into Site Delta. Here we go. Oh my god. I'm getting sleepy watching Sleepy. We're good, we're good. We're good, Pappy, we're good. Here we go. We're jumping into game number 2. I'm hoping for an ace match, but we'll see. We'll see. The pressure is now on the Terran. Pressure's on the Terran player. The arrows. Who am I, the Muslim? Like, okay. That's not my thing, Pappy. It's not my thing. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Side Delta. We have our Brazilian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Zimi's Gaming. It is Dorminhoco. One game away from claiming the series and spawning in the top left-hand corner. We have his opponent, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Zimi's Gaming as well as their teammates. It is Kamikaze. Now, if you remember, we saw like a 15-15 variation out of Dorminhoco in game 1. This time looks like a standard 15-15. As a reminder, last time it was a gas into pool into a much later hatchery here. This time, straight up hatchery into pool into later gas. So this looks like a safe 15-15 opener from Dorminhoco. I imagine, assuming that Kamikaze is going 2-Rax Reaper. As we can see this time, standard opener out of Kamikaze. And as a result, I would favor Kamikaze in these openers, in the kind of rock paper scissors kind of like setup that we have here. For those that are curious, ideally this build from Dorminhoco goes up against 2-Rax Reaper, just because it's a very safe opener and 2-Rax Reaper is designed to punish a faster third. Alas, there is no faster third base, but as we can see, standard opener out of Kamikaze means that the safer opener wasn't really, it doesn't really come to fruition, doesn't really pay off. Better way of putting it. Does not pay off. As Kamikaze dips in between the bases. Just confirms the opener. Does confirm. We do have our queens on the way. Dorminhoco did make 2 lings, which is a little bit interesting. Usually you skip the lings, so Dorminhoco being a little bit safer. These lings can try to skirt around the edge of the map and try to get to the natural. It's possible. Speaking of, yep, there we go. They're going to skirt around the edge of the map and they're going to try and delay the natural. as we did just mention. Has to go those 2 lings. Meanwhile, the Reaper has arrived. Quick spore trick there from Dorminhoco. Saves the drone. Zones away the Reaper. Things are moving in. Things are moving in. And we're headed to the natural. We're going to get an SCV at least. But we're not going to quite delay the expansion. Yeah, the CC does finish up. Does complete. Kamikaze back at home has a Marine. And with solid micro, yeah, the Marine should be fine. Well, meanwhile, that is a third CC. That is a fast third CC from Kamikaze before Starport. Economic follow-up. Dorminhoco does confirm. And this tells Dorminhoco really early on. Oh, my God. He's crazy. I was going to say that this tells him that he can be greedy, throw down double Evo Chamber, get into his third base, and get into a longer game. But no, Dorminhoco, he sees the economic opener. And how does he respond? Lair, Overlord Speed, 2-base all in. Okay, it's going to be a 2-base all in from Dorminhoco. He's an animal, Papi. Oh my God. Absolute animal. The Reaper is trapped, is stuck. There's no way out. Yeah, there's no way out, but a big scout for Kamikaze. He doesn't spot the Roach Warren, but he does spot the Lair. That is an insanely fast Lair from Dorminhoco, and I would be thinking Nidus. I'd be thinking either Nidus or something a little bit different. The Hellions do get into the main. Oh, they roast up a drone. Roast up 2 drones. Oh, they get eyes on the Roach Warren as well. Not much economic damage, but they confirm gases. They confirm the Roach Warren. They know it's going to be a 2-base all-in. Kamikaze is fully aware. But again, this could be interpreted as Nidus. This should be Dropperlord. As Overlord Speed is now done, it should be a Roche Dropperlord Queen all-in. Bit of a German taxi variation. There it is. Dropperlords are on the way. But Kamikaze has seen enough to let him know to be defensive, as he needs to wall up and get ready back at home. Roaches are amassing. Dorminhoco is making some drones. Just 2 for now, and it should only be 2. Yeah, so that we do load up those queens. And the queens are loaded. Roaches are going to be moving out. Back at home, we have a tank on the high ground. Kamikaze getting ready. And yeah, he confirms the move out as well. Kamikaze sees everything. He knows. And Kamikaze knows he's walling up back at home. Kamikaze playing mech. I just realized going triple factory. Jesus, going mass tank. That's gonna do well against Roach Queen. Ooh, and Dorminhoco, he's supply blocked. Oh, that is brutal. At this point, I think he has to drone. At this point, I don't think he can commit to this. Does confirm all the tanks dropping into the natural. The queens get dropped, but they're going to be focused down. Oh, no. We do have some transfuse available, but we're not even going to get the tank. The repair is too good. The tank survives, and Kamikaze will hold. As I say that, the tank on the low ground, it's finally going to be going down, but it's... Oh my god! The tank volleys are insane! 3 tanks on the high ground. That was how many? 12 roaches. 12 roaches, 4 queens, 2 drop lords for 1 tank. That was the trade. For 1 tank kill. Aye. Sure, we got 4 or 5 SCVs, but that pales in comparison. That doesn't matter. And now we're going for a massive counterattack, and Dorminhoco has almost nothing to defend. Dorminhoco is droning. I mean, he has to. He has to drone up to catch up. Which is why this counterattack makes a lot of sense. It is going to hit very hard. Dorminhoco is in trouble. Oh boy. Is in trouble whilst they take down one of the tanks. 1 tank does fall. More tanks are arriving. Dorminhoco is waiting for a bit of an overextension, if at all possible. Very careful movement here by Dorminhoco. Doesn't want to overextend. Doesn't want to get within range of the tanks. Means can tank some shots. And we're going to get 1 more tank. Ooh, the piles are a little bit split. There we go. 2 tanks go down. We barely get the final tank as well. Not the cleanest of trades, but Dorminhoco holds. Dorminhoco does hold on. Behind this, running up to 55. Getting another expansion on the way. We're still in this. We still have a back and forth. Now, I will favor Kamikaze. Kamikaze is in a greater position. Does have the better economy. More SCVs, plus mules. On top of that, is embracing mech as well. The Zerg player needs to get a big economic lead here to go toe-to-toe with mech. Is getting a 4th, but we need to drone up. Dorminhoco needs to drone, take gases, tech up, Hydrodens on the way, infestation bits as well for Hive Tech for Vipers. Dorminhoco is going to waste the go. But he did defend against the first push. And what's terrifying, Kamikaze, he is getting into Hurricane engines. Mass Cyclone on the way. It tells us that Kamikaze can be active sooner rather than later. He's not waiting for this slow death wall of an army with tanks to build up. I mean, he is building up tanks, but this Mass Cyclone can be active earlier. Active very early on. Last 4th base getting saturated. Hive now on the way for Dorminhoco. And we're going for an... Okay. We're going for a Nidus. Okay. I mean, there is an Overseer outside of the main. True. How do you bypass a wall of tanks? A wall of mech with the Nidus one? Could work. Ooh, especially if we don't have full vision of the main. There is like a small hex here.
Exhausted. Time to make expand and defensive.
Is that Wyra? Okay. Shout out to Wyra. Shout out to the special tactics. Meanwhile, Nidus Swarm. Is it going to be out of range or out of vision? Ooh, it's within vision. Okay, it is going to be within vision. And Kamikaze, does he notice? He's looking here on the front lines. He doesn't see. He's focusing on his push. Yeah, Kamikaze does focus on his main move out. Nidus Swarm will complete. No response, no reaction. Do we commit to the base trade? Nothing in the Nidus Swarm. Uh-oh. There we go. Roach is now flooding in, but this is a late attack from Dorminhoco. There's one tank in the main already pre-sieged. They're trying to get on top of the tank. Mine shot goes off, tank goes down. But the Nidus Storm did at least force back the main army. This force now quite exposed. Yeah, Lings are flooding in. Mine shots going up. Tanks are cleaned up. Yeah, very nice defense here by Dorminhoco. The Cyclones all race back home. That exposed the tanks on the front line. Is there detection? Detection is on the way. Clean up the window mines. Oh! Ooh, oh my, massive mine shot though. Jesus. The mine shots are crazy. One mine left. Ooh, wind mine is not scouted, is not spotted. Nothing nice into the main. Ooh, actually outside of the 4th base. Okay. Nice firms on the way. Meanwhile, Dorminhoco attempting to get into his own Ling Hydra Viper. Attempting. Nice firm does finish. Does force a response here at a Kamikaze. And the main army pushing forward. Ooh, not quite catching Kamikaze out. Tanks have to be respected. Respect the tanks. Nidus Swarm is scouted. Is going to be shot down. Dorminhoco still being active. Going for double Lurker 10. I'm not so sure about that, but okay. Rushing into those upgrades. Halley's gets shut down. Dorminhoco getting up to 5 bases. Still not the greatest economy here. I would say Kamikaze still keeping up. If not, I mean, I would say still has a better economy. Dorminhoco has a larger army, but that's because of the roaches. Roaches are inflated supply. So not the greatest army here for the Zerg player. If he can catch Kamikaze off guard again, though, catching the tanks on siege or on their own, then he can pop off. Meanwhile, a big shout to the bent one. Ah, thank you, Papi, thank you. Gracias, back. Thank you for the support. Thank you for subscribing for the first time. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy everything that we do here on the CranKy Ducklings. Thank you, thank you. Hope you enjoy your emotes as a result. As here we go. Gonna try and start a step forward. Big tank volley is going off. Nice abductions on the Cyclones. Cyclones are shut down. Vipers falling back, regenerating their energy. Changelings slipping into the natural. Getting vision for potential Nidus Worms. Speaking of, Nidus Worm outside of the 3rd is spotted. Big reaction. Kamikaze does pull away. At the same time, here comes the main army of Dorminhoco. Does find the tanks. It happens again. We get 1, we get 2, we're going to get 3 tanks. Oh, just 2 for now. Lurkers, they do. Oh my god, the Lurkers pop out! And massive spine shots. Yeah, tanks, they walk into the Lurkers. Not like this. The Lurkers are going to be cleaned up, but at the same time, Dorminhoco, he hits the 4th. Taking down base after base. That was a better trade for the Zerg. How many tanks? 6. Sorry, not just 6. 9. 9 tanks went down. Vipers coming in, sniping more of those tanks. Now we're not done. Or are we? Oh my god, the mine shots! Takes down the Vipers. Vipers are cleaned up. 2 Vipers to escape. Dorminhoco racing back. It was a messy fight. The 4th base survived, so did the 3rd. Both armies traded with each other. And as the dust does settle, Dorminhoco lost every one of his Lurkers. That's what's a little bit worrisome here. All the Lurkers did go down. A Viper was sniped by the Widow Mines. And this could still go either way. It still comes down to the engagements. Meanwhile, another base getting up and running. I believe Dorminhoco has not scouted. Yeah, he has no idea.
Unacceptable command.
Doesn't see the double expand from Kamikaze. That is towards the north. The tanks are unsieged. Planetary is spotted. Dorminhoco, he wants the planetary. Oh, the Bailings. They get into the mineral line. A base goes down. Meanwhile, Nidustorm does finish. Lurkers can pop out. So Dorminhoco does get away. Does lose one Viper. Lurkers going for the northern base. They force a lift. And they can keep on going. At the same time, Kamikaze also pushing forward. Dorminhoco getting ready for a surround. Oh, or for a flank even. Oh, I'm not too fond of these Lurkers though. They overextend. They're gonna catch some tanks, but there's so many libs. And Liberators have arrived. We have freedom. And with that freedom, we're gonna shut down all these Lurkers once we scan. 3 shots going off. Once again, a bit of a messy fight, but there's a scan. Lurkers are cleaned up. The tanks are exposed. Oh my god. It just keeps happening. We just keep distracting. Suddenly, this Lurker run-by was worth it. Sure, we lost all the Lurkers, but we killed all the tanks. Ay, ay, ay. It was, once again, 9 tanks for 8 Lurkers. A 1-to-1 trade with siege units. The northern expansion was denied. The southern expansion was killed as well. So Dorminhoco is back in the driver's seat. Spire is on the way to work towards Corruptors. Again, upon seeing all of these Liberators, Corruptors are going to be necessary as the battle is taken to the skies. I just don't quite cut it. Lings popping up the mineral line. At the same time, Liberators harassing across the map. Towards the north and towards the south. 7. Oh, almost 8 drone kills. As it also settled, I mean, both players are maxing out. Both players are maxing. I'm a little bit more concerned with Kamikaze because these expansions have been denied. He's a little bit more up against the wall. He's attempting to wall up. Winter mines, tanks, tank lines, Liberators as well. Ultras, where are we going? Oh my god. Okay, calm down. The Ultras, they run into the army. Corruptors have amassed. Again, they're going to help out with the libs. How many Vipers do we have? 1. 1 Viper for Dorminhoco. Kamikaze trying to gain ground, pushing forward. Yeah, Ultras, they commit to the dive. Ultras attempting to dive on top of those tanks, but there's such a massive siege line behind this. And the Ultras will eventually go down. The Corruptors, they do take down all the Liberators. So Dorminhoco, he wins the battle in the sky. Kamikaze wins the battle on the ground, and Dorminhoco plummets in supply. Oof, Viper falls. And Kamikaze is pushing through. He's breaking through. We need a ground army. Mass Ultra didn't quite cut it. As we're going to try and dive in. Lings do get on top of the tanks. Not bad. 2, 3 tanks going down. Corruptors, they take down all the Vikings as well. But again, we need more on the ground. We need more Lings. Ay, ay, ay. Do we have a Greater Spire? No. The answer is no. If we had a Greater Spire, then Broodlords could be a response as well, but alas, no Greater Spire. We have to rely on Ling Ultra, but we have Widow Mines! Oh my god. Massive mines just going off. The Lings, they cannot touch the tanks. And Kamikaze, he's snowballing out of control. He breaks down a base. He's going to keep on pushing. The Widow Mines are on cooldown. These tanks are exposed. Oh, decent mine shot. And it's going down. Dorminhoco diving in. Tank volley is going to be going off, and it looks like we do get on top of most of the tanks this time. Yeah, the Ultras, they're paying off. They collapse on top of the tanks, and they will clean this up. The Remax was barely going to be enough here for Dorminhoco. It's being kited back by the Cyclones, and it has to calm down a little bit. Ooh, that big tank volley is going off, and have we overextended? Yeah, the Ultras are going down, but the Lings are getting on top of the tanks once again. More tanks falling. I just barely did. The tank is so tanky. Oh, those are +1 Lings. I was curious, why are the Lings taking so long to kill things? We only have +1 melee. We don't have +2. So the Lings and Ultras, they actually have been doing pretty bad damage here. And we have the money. We have the money for it. We just don't notice. Dorminhoco, forgetting +2 and forgetting +3. Ay, ay, ay. The Ling Ultra. They tickle. That makes a little bit more sense. Meanwhile, Kamikaze rebuilding, pushing out once again. You see a flank being set up. Liberators late to siege, late to reposition. Yeah, libs are going down. And even though Kamikaze has a large army, he made a lot of Vikings. Vikings are not doing too well here for Kamikaze. There's Runner Corruptors. Libs though, they're popping off. Workers. Likewise, Lurker counterattack towards the north. Getting back into Lunker production. There it is, +2. +2 is on the way. Let's go. Ooh, but freedom has arrived. We have to get the Lurkers out of here. These are extensive losses. 2, 3, 4 Lurkers going down. 5 Lurkers going down. Ay, ay, ay. Dorminhoco cannot afford these trades. Dorminhoco does not have the best economy. Rotating towards the south. Dustwater Planetary. No Lurkers though. So we're trying to poke in. I mean, we can maybe... Hydras can maybe take down one of these orbitals, but not the Planetary. Orbital falls. The Liberators have arrived. Dorminhoco has to get the hell out of here. Kamikaze does hold. To defend. Likewise, Cyclone counterattack as well. Dorminhoco getting pulled apart. Hatchery's under fire. They'll survive. Barely. Oof. Overseer was left behind. How many Liberators do we have? 9. 9 Liberators here. For Kamikaze. Yes, we're going to be collapsing in. Oh my god, it's not going to be a pretty trade though. The Zerg army melts. GG, well played. And Kamikaze fights back, puts a point on the board, and does force the ace match. GG. It was a meat grinder as we saw the Ultra Hydra dive into liberation zones and tanks as well. Oh, not a pretty sight. Zerg players look away as Kamikaze forces the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3. Let's go. Going to game 3. Whew. Oh my god. Calming things down. Getting ready for that ace match. Remember, as a reminder, Shakti is waiting in the grand finals for the winner of this series. Is lying in wait. Who's it going to be? Could still go either way. This was a hyper-aggressive game from Dorminhoco. As a reminder, winding it back a little bit, Dorminhoco, he went for the initial Nidus aggression, went for the attempted German taxi, if you recall. The attempted drop lord all-in, which did fail, did fall on its face. Kamikaze had a much stronger start, and then Dorminhoco, he caused a lot of chaos, was able to bring it back in the end. Had it back and forth. It was very chaotic game. Now we're settling into the ace match. Here we go. Nerves? Yeah, I imagine nerves. Like, I imagine a big reason why the upgrades were forgotten was just because of how chaotic and how intense that game was. There was a lot of action going on, a lot of fighting, a lot of engagements and repositioning. And alas, forgetting those upgrades did impact that game quite a lot, just because of how heavily we were committed, or how heavily Dorminhoco was committed to Ling Ultra. For quite a lot of that game was relying on those units, and for them to be so poorly upgraded over the course of the game does add up. You know, that would have been extra tank kills, extra marine kills, like just extra value over the course of how long that game was. So that was a big factor. But regardless, we're getting into the ace match. We're going to be loading into Post-Youth for game 3. Let's go. Let's go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Post-Youth, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Eximius Gaming. Fighting back, forcing the ace match. Can he go the distance? Can he go all the way? It is a Kamikaze. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. Not canceling the gas geyser. Oh, it's going to be a short one. We have the Brazilian Zerg, the red Zerg representing Ximius Gaming. It is Dorminhoco. This is your Portuguese, or this is your Brazilian word for the day. If you're in the chat, if you're wondering, how do you say sleepy in Brazil, in Brazilian? Dorminhoco, papi, Dorminhoco. That's why the stream title is Sleepy. In Spanish, it's Dormilon. Dormilon. Similar in Spanish. Sleep. He just wants to go to bed. But again, gas first. It was a 14 gas into 15 spawning pool. We saw this in game 1, if you recall, which led into fast link speed. It led into a bit of an odd start, if you recall. If you remember, Kamikaze did react. He walled up, which led to Dorminhoco droning, expanding, getting into a fast lair. It was just a really awkward game 1, but that's the same opener once again. Now with the faster gas geyser, there's still no expansion. No expansion, so much later natural base, much faster link speed. Link speed is already on the way, so really fast link speed here for Dorminhoco, and he's still in gas. Now, because he's still in gas, part of me would assume, okay, maybe this is going to be for a Bane bust, maybe it's going to be for a Roach rush, maybe it's going to be for a Lair rush as well. Like, the gas has to be spent somewhere. And that's why we were racking our brains in game 1, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And in game 1, Dorminhoco just droned. He just droned and went for like a later kind of roach play, went for like defensive roaches into a lair, into a longer game. So I'm curious if maybe that was just because Kamikaze had walled up as hard as he did, and because Dorminhoco was scouted. Links are moving out, Kamikaze is walling. Do you have the bunker now done? Factories on the way. And the worrisome thing here, and why I don't really like these aggressive builds on this map specifically, unlike on Oceanborn, where Kamikaze's, or unlike on a different map where Kamikaze's walling up on one base, on Post-Youth, he's walling up on 2 bases. This one ramp protects the main and the natural, which means Dorminhoco cannot harass the natural base, he cannot delay the expansion, these links can't really get much done. So this initial link speed opener, it's not really going to find any damage. Link speed is done, we're still mining gas, and from here, if it's similar to the previous game, yep, we're taking a third, and we're droning. So this is the same response that we saw in game 1 from Dorminhoco. He is just droning up and working towards a longer game. It's a very inefficient opener. I should say it's not a very economic opener. It does set us a little bit behind in the early game. You can see that Kamikaze is up in SCVs. He's up in workers, just straight up. So Kamikaze is ahead economically, and Dorminhoco is... We'll see where he goes. We'll see what happens. It's just a really odd build. I don't see anyone else do this, and it's just really quirky. It feels very unique to Dorminhoco. Very unique. Fast lair. Is rushing into a fast lair. Now, if you recall, last time Kamikaze did scout the fast lair, so Dorminhoco just droned and went into a longer game. But if this goes unscattered, this could be for 2-base muta. Never mind. Roach Warren. Okay. It's just like game 1. It's like fast lair into Roach Warren, into Roach speed, into eventually Link Bane Roach. But okay. Here we go. As we are just taking the Roach Warren, we are going to be joining up and calming things down. Meanwhile, from here, we do see Kamikaze going for a 3rd CC before starport. Economic follow-up here. The CC's further back into Cloak Banshee. So, again, very economic play here from Kamikaze. I do favor the Terran player's position here coming into the early game. The Overlord will scout, will confirm. A big scout here by Dorminhoco. He will get eyes on the would-be Banshee play. Does confirm the Banshee production. And the 3rd CC. So Dorminhoco knows what is going on. Likewise, Hellion dive across the map. The wall is open. The wall is open. The Queen is out of position, and drones are going down. Oh my god. They're lighting up. 6 drone kills. We're not done. Oh my, 9, 10. This is too much. This is a little bit too much damage here. This should not have happened. It's only 2 Hellions. It wasn't even like an 8 Hellion dive. It was only 2. And with that, 10 workers already go down. Bearing in mind that Dorminhoco was already behind economically, he will finally shut this down as the Lings have arrived. But this was a rough start for the Zerg. And Kamikaze behind this is meching it up. That is a 2nd and a 3rd factory on the way. Is going to embrace the mech. Meanwhile, Dorminhoco, did he confirm this? He did not. He scouted the 111, but did not see the additional factories. Dorminhoco still in the dark. Banshee has arrived, catching more drones. And 3 or 4 more drones going down. Ooh. Oh no! There's no detection! As there is no detection, the Banshee actually could head into the main. There is no Spore, but here comes the Overseer. Overseer comes in, and Banshee will finally go down. At the same time, a Hellion dive here towards the 3rd base, and we are pulling Dorminhoco apart. This is becoming too much. This is becoming game-ending damage. 17 drones going down. Again, the minerals are mined open, which means there's just so much room to maneuver. There's just so many ways into the main. 19 drone kills in total. 29. If you're a drone out there, stay away, Bobby. It's not safe for drone, not safe for Zerg. Look away. The barbecue is real. 19 drone kills. And what's terrifying is, again, the mech that's coming. Now, because it is mech, and because we're going for a tank-heavy composition, not a cyclone-heavy composition, it takes a little bit longer to get going. Because of that, Dorminhoco has time to re-drone. Oh, no Spore. No Spore. Bobby. We saw the Banshees earlier. We're cutting corners. There's a Spore in the natural. There's a Spore now in the main. Banshee goes down, but... oof, that is a lot of damage. It doesn't look like a lot. Only 2 drones, and we do force lost mining time, but considering the damage that was dealt earlier, like, every little bit counts. But what I was getting at, because it's a tank-heavy composition, it takes longer to get going. So because of this, Dorminhoco has time. He has time to drone, to build up, get a 4th base, and to recover. Dorminhoco has time to try to make some magic happen here, but eventually, Kamikaze is going to move out. And even though it's going to be a later push, by the time he does, it's going to be a hefty army. It's going to be a lot of tanks. It's going to be Hellions. It's going to just be a lot of mech Terran. And it's going to be terrifying. Oh boy. Kamikaze is settling in, going for another Hellion run by. As the Blue Flame Hellions, they get into the middle line once again. Roach is trying to keep up, but alas, the drones are lining up, and we get another 9 drone kills, and Hellions are cheap. We can afford to throw away Hellions. 9 drones go down. Kamikaze maintains his economic lead. Ay. I see someone asking in the chat, why clear those minerals, by the way? I mean, clearing the minerals does mean that the defending Zerg player has an easier time rotating between the bases and defending the bases, but it also means it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, it's easier to rotate for both the aggressor and the defender. And clearly we saw that Dorminhoco had very little to defend, so it did work against him in the end. It does allow more maneuverability, like, between your bases to defend, but yeah, it just didn't work out quite well there for Dorminhoco. Ay. And here we go, Kamikaze. How many tanks? 8. 8 tanks. Hellions on the way, Cyclones as well. 4th base being taken. Kamikaze still has a worker lead, plus mules, even on bases. Oh boy. But we're still waiting for the move out. Like, Kamikaze is still just building up. He's gathering energy for the Spirit Bomb, you know? Everyone's got their hands up. And eventually he's gonna send it, Bobby. He's gonna send it. Oh boy. Dorminhoco, can we hold? We catch a Cyclone? Okay. You know, he catches the Cyclone. Not bad. Is rotating around. Hive is done. Vipers are on the way. Vipers will help in the defense. They'll help a little bit. That's okay. Kamikaze's not moving out with all his tanks. He's leaving half his tanks back at home. Bear that in mind. So this is not the full force of Kamikaze. This is merely, you know, 60%. This is Kamikaze at 60%, and he is gaining ground. Still leaving tanks in the back line. Should be pushing them forward. But has him at least to catch any kind of run by, I guess. But these are expensive scouting units. Because a run by would just kill these tanks for free. Regardless, still rallying. Pushing forward. Has yet to clear up creep. There's a lot of creep surrounding this army. Meanwhile, we spoke about it. Yeah, this tank is going to go down. It was exposed. Likewise, so is this tank. Yeah, so 2 tanks are going to be going down. At the same time, we're pulling... Oh, we do pull Kamikaze apart. We catch another 2, another 3 tanks. Okay, okay. Dorminhoco. He's crazy. Getting some nice pickups here. Oh, at the same time, a hellback counterattack. Oh my god. They get into the mineral line. 9 more drones go down. Oh, and they're not done. 12 worker kills. But again, Dorminhoco was able to pick off some key units. Catching some free tanks. Some cyclones. Decent abductions. Dorminhoco is still punching up, but hey, he's getting there. More tanks have arrived. Big yoinks coming in as we do catch 3 of those tanks. Once again, an efficient trade. Ooh, but still has to respect the tank line. Dorminhoco being forced back. Big tank volleys going off. I'm a little bit concerned. There we go. I was gonna say I'm concerned by how bunched up the tanks are. Like 1 or 2 blinding clouds would have covered everything, but we do spread out. Kamikaze. Do spread out. We're getting ready here for the eventual move out, for the eventual dive. Vipers are gathering energy as we speak. Getting ready for those blinding clouds or abductions. Tanks once again. Sieging up. Decent spread. Decent. Yeah, and Kamikaze slowly sieging forward. Just bullying back the Zerg army up against the wall. Here come the Vipers. We're going for the dive. We abduct the Liberators. Liberators go down. Big tank volleys going off though. And we still have more freedom. We have more liberation. Oh god, this is not going to be pretty. Dorminhoco, he cannot push into this. Look at this insane siege line. You cannot engage. Not with the ground army, not without blinding clouds. If you can blinding cloud every single tank, then sure. But outside of that, it's not going to happen. The Hydras, they melt before the might of the tanks. And this is the power of mech. GG, well played. Good luck gets called, and Kamikaze will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Kamikaze will take the series. Dorminhoco had a couple of nice moments leading towards the end of the game where he was able to catch like 5 tanks, right? He caught 2 on the left and like 3 on the right-hand side. He got a couple of tanks here and there, which was nice, but it was not enough to recover and not enough to make up for the worker losses. He lost so many drones in the lead up to that eventual move out. Again, it was game-ending damage. To lose, what was it, 29 drones? Something crazy like that. Initially, it was like 29 drones going down. That is game-ending damage, and at this level of play, you cannot afford those mistakes, you cannot afford those losses that early on in the game. GG, well played. Kamikaze does take it in the end, does advance on. Congratulations. Oh. Congratulations here to Kamikaze as he does advance on into the grand finals. And we have a TVP. We have a best of 5 TVP getting ready for us between ZvT and Kamikaze. Let's go. Let us go.